but let's go ahead and get started. This one is all about the rave at Anime Milwaukee 2016, and it's not actually about the rave itself. I've talked ad nauseum about that rave and what I thought about it on my other channel, so if you want to know about that, go over there and watch those videos. I'm not going to get into that again, but what I'm talking about is an incident that happened there. So we were all really excited to go to this rave. It was me, Drew, Shelby, Xavier, and his girlfriend Megan. So there was no rave on Friday, so we were really looking forward to this rave and honestly couldn't wait. Me and Drew go early. We have backstage passes that we got from Jeff, the guy who was running the rave. And so we could cut the line and go in early, so we did that and we went in and we were just kind of waiting for it to all fill up. And we noticed that the music was pretty low, all of that, but we still really wanted to get into it. The music was good, especially at the beginning. It was good, but it was turned down too low. That's not what the problem is in this story, though. We got over that and tried to get into it anyway, and we pretty much could. Like, we started to get into it, and then we noticed, once our other friends got there, there was this guy and this girl up near the front, because we like to go to the front. We used to stick near the back and the side, but we don't really do that anymore. We've gone to so many of these, we're like, to the front immediately. So we're up in the front trying to dance, and this guy and this girl keep pushing each other and saying that they want to start a mosh pit, and at least the guy for sure looks like he's very gone, like he's been drinking way too much. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how he came off. And they kept saying they want to start a mosh pit, and we're pushing people, and at one point, Drew looked at the guy and he was like, hey man, stop bumping into me. I'm trying to dance. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, man. It's okay. And like got off of him and then just kept doing it. Another time he hit Drew again. I don't think I ever got hit, but Drew kept getting hit. And so did some of our other friends and a lot of other people around us did. So Drew actually took and straight up pushed this dude, and he like fell into the crowd. And luckily he didn't come back at Drew. He just went on about his business, and he stopped for a minute and then it started back up again. It was really annoying. Nobody could dance. A huge circle was starting to form there where nobody wanted to stand because it's a rave, dude. It's a rave. You're not at a rock concert. That's fine, but it's a rave. You don't mosh at raves. He apparently didn't get this. And so we actually went and we met up with some friends of ours, actually fans of the channel. I don't know if they're watching, but Erin and her friend, whose name I can't remember. I'm so sorry. But this was one of their first raves, and they were kind of on the outskirts, and me and Drew were like, you guys gotta come in and dance, come on. And so we pulled them in and up to the front, and it was really disappointing because they finally started dancing and were like getting into it, and I was like, yeah, cool, they're enjoying this rave, awesome. And then this dude started pushing people and bumping into people again, and he bumped into Drew, and Drew wasn't having it anymore. He had been bumped into like 3-4 times at this point, and the guy just wouldn't stop. This had been going for like a half an hour at this point, with this guy doing this. So Drew finally grabs the dude, and he gets all up on him and like starts to kind of like act big, like he's trying to intimidate this dude. And he's like, hey man, you're gonna stop bumping into me. This is a rave. This is not a rock concert. We're not moshing. You need to stop bumping into people and relax. Like he was getting really intense with the guy, and the guy finally came back at him. He was like, I don't actually remember what the guy said. I'm sorry. It's all kind of a blur. But the dude was like, hey man, I'm just trying to mosh. It's fine, man. And Drew was like, no, it's not fine. And they were like screaming at each other and like getting all up on each other. And finally Drew was like, hey, it's done, man. It's done. It's done. It's over. Like, just leave me alone. The guy wouldn't get off of Drew. He kept like going up on Drew, even though Drew was like, it's done. It's fine. Like, stop. Just stop hitting me. Drew was trying to get this guy to stop talking to him at this point. And he just wouldn't. He kept being all over him. And then other people came up to Drew and were like, hey, thanks a ton for, while Drew was still talking to the guy, like said it in front of the dude, was like, thanks a ton, this guy's ruining our rave, like he needs to cut it out. And that was really awesome. That helped support Drew. I'm sure that gave him fuel to keep talking to this guy. But eventually, somehow he got the guy off of him. And we turned around to notice that Erin and her friend were gone, which really sucked. We figured that whole situation must have scared them. And it really sucked because they had been up in the front for literally like 2 or 3 minutes, finally dancing. And we were like, well, crap, now they're gone. And so I tried to record a little bit more, and that guy was standing there. He wouldn't leave, and he just started flipping off our cameras and wouldn't let us record. He would get in front of them and get in the way anytime we tried to record. So finally we walked out, and when we walked out, we ran into Erin and her friend, and they said that was scary and that's why they left. But they went back in the rave and danced for a while, and me and Drew just went outside and set. We just needed to calm down and kind of breathe. I mean, I didn't really do anything, but I was up there with it. And if something would have happened, if someone would have tried to hit somebody, I definitely would have jumped in and helped Drew out. I don't want to, but I'm sure a lot of people would have, because nobody liked this guy. Everybody wanted him to stop. But getting into fights at cons isn't really something that I want to do for obvious reasons. You want to, we try to remain professional, and we don't want to do things like that if it's not completely necessary. And so hopefully thankfully it didn't escalate into that. So we calmed down and went back in the rave, and our friends had told us that they told security about, or like rave security, I don't know, staff, somebody, about the guy, and that they were keeping an eye on him. And it didn't really happen again. Thankfully, he finally stopped, and we all could then enjoy the rave, which honestly wasn't that great after that. He kind of ruined the best part of the rave. It really sucked. So yeah, this is the first story on here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever had an experience with somebody like this at a rave who's just so far gone that like they don't even know what they're doing, or maybe he wasn't even gone. Maybe he just seemed like it. And people who try to mosh and push other people and do things that really aren't accepted in raves. I mean, it's EDM. Like, relax. It's not what this is about. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that story time. I did also want to make a little announcement here really quick. If you go to the link in the description that says, I think it's ACR community or Carnivores community, Convention Reviews community, something like that, go over there. It's a Facebook page. Join that, because I'm going to start doing, starting today, I'm going to start doing daily vlogs on there, just of my daily life, because with cons slowing down for a little while, I mean, we still have Dragon Con and Daisho Con, but with cons slowing down for a little while, there's not going to be as much content, and this is a good way for me to practice and get ready, because next year on my travel channel I will actually be daily vlogging every day. So this is really good practice, so that hopefully when that time comes, I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit, so you guys can kind of see a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and there'll be lots of people from the crew in it all the time, I'm sure. And yeah, it should be really cool, hopefully. I mean, I'm sure there'll be boring days, but there'll definitely be exciting days that you'll want to see. So please go and join that immediately if you want to be seeing those. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.